Donut bullets was one of those ideas I got which when put into practice was love at first sight. Some people have cited their main reason for not using Workflowy as a text editor for their main writing platform. The fact that there are bullets. Well, what would an outliner be without bullets? Either way, the bullets can be totally hidden or one can just tone things down a bit, and so this is one of those middle ground tweaks. It's a tiny tweak, but a rather dramatic tweak at that. I'm hoping you'll enjoy this style. You've no doubt already seen my bullet styling elsewhere in preceding screencasts, but nevertheless, let me fully draw your attention to it now. Basically, the style gives us a hollow bullet, or a donut if you will, and when the bullets are collapsed, they still have their background color, but I've lightened it up a few notches. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. The bullets are still there and still functional, yet they fade into the background before long. Let me just collapse this bullet here. And let me turn the style off. Back on again. Off. On. Let's jump to my home page where most lists I have are collapsed. Now let's turn my style off. You see the difference? Quite dramatic. Back on again. And there you have it. Once you've been using these donut bullets for any length of time, it's going to be really difficult to go back to this. Trust me, the original styling has a very strong presence. I've been using Workflowy for years, and this style change, only for a couple of months. There's no going back for me, and the reason is obvious, so do try this style out and let me know what you think. Let me give you at least one element you can tinker with and change up if you want. If you'd like to make the bullet background color lighter or darker, all you do is change up the opacity in the code. So I've got my opacity set to 0.3. Let's bring this up to 0.9. Quite a bit darker. You might like that, or you might like it a lot lighter. Let's bring this down to 0.15. The background color on those bullets is hardly discernible. Let's just bring it back up to 0.3 again. I'm happy with that. So you get the idea. There's nothing to tweaking CSS. It's a piece of cake. Now let me show you my bullet styling for shared lists and embedded lists. Here are a couple of my shared lists. You'll see they're a shade of sky blue, and they have a glow around them, which shared lists actually used to have. All you do is give your bullet a box shadow in the code, which is already done, and make the shadow color slightly darker than the bullet background itself. You can either delete this box shadow code right here, or you can change up the color a bit. Let's turn our style off, and you'll see the default color. Let's turn it back on again. Now let's go to a global search of all my embedded lists. Once again, the styling I have for my embedded list looks pretty much like what the Workflowy default styling used to look like, both with the background color and the glow. Let's turn off our style and then back on again. So you decide if this is something you'd like to take on board. Let me show you a little CSS tip here. Say you don't want to use the embedded list code, but you don't want to delete it either, just in case you change your mind later. So all you do is wrap the code in a / with an asterisk at the beginning, and then an asterisk and a / at the end. What I'm going to do is simply cut this right here from what we call a comment, and then paste it right here at the end of this code snippet. That deactivates that snippet of code. And that way you don't have to delete it. You just put it on ice, so to speak. So there you have it, a small yet significant tweak, which will change up your workflowy aesthetics quite dramatically. Oh, and one last thing, you'll find a link to this style in the description box below the video.